Hello everyone and welcome to another modeling video. Today we have something a little bit different, and I know I said I'd probably never do locomotive reviews again, but this locomotive is quite special. As you can see, it is a Bachmann L&Y, Lancashire and Yorkshire Class 5 tank, but there's something very special about this. Oh yeah, it's in pre-grouping L&Y livery. And the product code for this one is 31-171, and it is number 1042. And it is obviously in L&YR line black, and it has a 6-pin decoder. I've wanted one of these things for a very, very, very long time. The problem is I can never find one in a decent livery. All the liveries that came out were either BR, and then there was that one LMS black one, which they never re-released again. And then there was the crimson one that everybody rushed and bought, and admittedly I did want that one, but everyone else bought it, so I crossed it out. So this one was announced in 2019, so I immediately pre-ordered it, because look at it. So yeah, this was announced in 2019 along with another variation of the crimson one, whereas instead of having the LMS logo on the bunker, it has LMS, the letters LMS. Anyway, so I got this from Rails. This was originally priced at £110, but then Bachmann hiked the price up by like 20%, I think, or maybe. Don't ask, because I'm very bad at math. All I know is this was £110 and now it's 100, and I paid 120. So yeah. So without further ado, let's dive into this thing, shall we? So it's a typical Bachmann style packaging. Do excuse the mess. I tried to tidy up as best as I possibly could. So you have your instructions. Ah, yes, old instructions. The old paper instructions. So there's the exploded diagram, and on the back it talks about running in, lubrication, all that fun jazz. And then here is the product maintenance and care. This is the new one with the really shiny paperwork. Yeah, so that's usual Bachmann stuff. And here we have the locomotive in its block of ice. Let's slide it out. In the detailing pack, you do get 2 tiny screw-link couplings. I don't see any etched plates. That's a shame. It's a big shame, because this clearly has etched plates on the side. So, well, not etched, but you know what I mean. So I'm gonna move everything out of shot, and we will take a better look at it. Be back in a jiff. So here we have the Bachmann Lancashire and Yorkshire Railway Class 5 242 tank on our little turntable. Something a bit different, but don't expect this to be a normal thing. So trying something a bit different. And first off, all I can say is wow. This livery is absolutely stunning. It is beautiful. Just look at it. Give you a quick 360 here. So, we'll start at the front and we'll work our way around. I think that's the most logical thing to do. So let me just zoom in here and point this down. There we go. So starting at the buffer beam, we have our number 1042 and the number classification thingy. We have our vacuum pipe and dovetail NEM tension lock coupling. You do have metal buffers. They aren't sprung, and I will talk about that because I've got a theory here. So if I can just back this up right there. You see these buffers? These are tapered buffers, and I figured this out a while ago. Bachmann, for whatever reason, they hate these things. I don't know what they have against tapered buffers, but Most other locomotives that have sprung buffers have the parallel type, which, is just parallel. They're completely straight all the way across. These are tapered buffers, and you can see they obviously tapered down to where the buffer head is. For whatever reason, Bachmann hate these things. Be it either the City or the Duke Dog or Root Ashton Hall, or even this now. I think even the new rod that comes in the London Northwestern livery and the actual rod livery, they don't have sprung buffers either. And I also believe the Webb cold tank doesn't have sprung buffers, but that's something completely different. I understand why that doesn't have sprung buffers. But this, for whatever reason, Bachmann hate tapered buffers. Whereas other manufacturers, and we can all name a couple, they don't have any problem with them. So I don't know. I just don't know. It's something that grinds my gears, and I figured it out a while ago. So yeah. Anyway, going back to the rant over. Going back to the front of the locomotive, you have our lamp irons here, as well as an absolute buttload of rivets. As you can see all along the running board, which is die-cast, which is standard for all Bachmann locomotives, except for the V2, for whatever reason. I don't know. Also, you have some lamp irons right up here. They're very odd looking, but those little pegs are lamp irons. Sticking with the front, we have our smokebox dart here, which is separately fitted, as you can see, because I can get the cocktail stick right in between there. You also have this little valve. I think that's a clack valve. I'm not entirely sure. Let's go over here to the side. You have a leaf spring, reverser right here. Right there, that's the reverser. Footstep. And you also have some inside motion in there as well. The tank fronts have steps on them as well. Like I said before, I will try and get some better pictures of these. And you also have some inside motion. Now this thing, oh boy, let's talk about this thing for a bit. This thing right here next to the smoke box. This is a locomotive jack. I'm not entirely sure what the purpose of it is, but every pre-grouping locomotive that I have seen, be it in pictures, painting, video, what have you, train simulator, again, what have you, they all have this. And that's attention to detail right there. Bachmann didn't have to do that, but they did anyway. I think the LMS one, the recent LMS one that also came out with this as well, I think that has the locomotive jack. So yeah, attention to detail right there. Again, another footstep right there. So let's move to the side. You can see the absolutely beautiful Lancashire and Yorkshire livery. Just look at all the lining. There's no blemishes. There's no marks. Let me zoom in here. Let's take a look at the number. Again, no etched plates, which is a real shame. But I can get those from Narrow Planet, or Light Railway Stores as they're known now. But yeah, it's a big shame. It should have included etched plates. I noticed they didn't do this on the recent re-release of the Small Prairies and the auto tanks. Yeah, the auto tanks don't have etched plates as well. What's up with that? Anyway, Lancashire and Yorkshire, beautifully printed here. Again, no blemishes, no marks, crisply applied there. Coupling rods. We'll take a look at the undercarriage in a bit. Coupling rods, standard Bachmann wheels that people seem to have a problem with. I don't know why. I don't really care. And you have the crest here. I do apologize, but the Lancashire and Yorkshire crest, again, I'll try and get a better picture of it. And another footstep here towards the cab. We're going to get to the cab in a bit. I know you guys all want to see that beautiful detail inside. I mean, you can see it anyway, but anyway, going to the rear of the locomotive, same thing with the front. Non-sprung buffers that are metal. Lamp irons here, and there's one right there, right above the buffer. A vac pipe, handrail, beautifully applied lining, coal guard on the bunker, NEM tension lock coupling. Apparently the coal load is removable, but I have yet to test that theory. So we go up. You can see some spectacle plates that are actually painted, which is great, and some more rivets. And the other side is more or less the same. So while we're here, you can see a little bit of the top of the tank. I'm going to try and pull it forward. You can see some of the tank detail right here. You have the filler cap along with some valve of some sort. But yeah, washout plugs on the boiler, and the other side is more or less the same. More or less the same on the other side. Let's look up for a bit, because I want to talk about this real quick. 2 whistles and safety valves that are all made out of metal, which is great. I have no idea what this thing is, but that is going to break off, I can already tell, and I'm going to probably put some plastic cement on it. Whether or not that works, I have no idea. Again, cab spectacle plates are actually painted, and the glazing is beautiful. There's no frosting of any sort on the glazing. So let's take a look at the cab. Well, you can kind of see it anyway. Let me... what's the best way to do this? Go down? Yes. Okay. Go down, turn up. There we go. So yeah, you can see a bit of the cab. I do apologize, but you can see a bit of the cab. It's painted in this really weird yellow color. Don't know why that is, but apparently that's accurate to the real thing. But yeah, it's cab detail in there. Everything is painted. This is what you come to expect these days. Give in mind, this model, well, not this exact model, but the tooling for this model came out in 2014. 2013, 2014, around there. So, this was the norm back then. This was setting the bar. But, yeah. It's a pretty decent look at it. So, I will take it apart, maybe, and I will show you the undercarriage, and then after that we shall see it, give it a quick run. Bear in mind, this is brand new. I have not run this yet, so we'll see how that acts. Quick look at the undercarriage here. You have the brake rigging that's already factory fitted, which is great. You have the sandpipes, the radial trucks. What's the best way? Right here. They rotate and pivot. And you also have pickups on all 4 driving wheels. Apparently, you actually have all-wheel pickups. So not only do these wheels pick up, but the front and the rear wheels pick up. Oh, is that that's a water scoop right there. I've never noticed that. Huh. So there's a water scoop there. Interesting. So yeah, anyway, back to the wheels. Apparently all of these wheels pick up, so the front and the rear wheels pick up along with the driving wheels, which is great because you need that, especially for this tiny little thing. Even though it has a die-cast running board, I think it needs, you know, all the amount of traction it can possibly get. So there is the Bachmann L&YR Class 5 tank on our little bit of test track here. I'm not sure if I'm going to do some normal running shots that I've done with wagon reviews in the past. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that with this because I just don't. I don't feel like setting up my temporary layout, and also this little bit of straight track it should be enough. So anyways, let's give it some juice, shall we? Keep in mind that this has not been run in, and also this track is very old and has not been cleaned, and it has stalled, which is wonderful. Oh goody, squeaking. That's wonderful. So straight out of the box, it's actually pretty smooth, despite the little hiccup we had earlier. I'm going to run it by at 50%. By the way, no traction tires. This thing does not have traction tires, which is it's okay. I mean, personally, I don't really see why people get all salty and mad about traction tires. It doesn't really matter to me. Anyways, I will show you the crawl. Hopefully, it will crawl good. Like I said, this has not been run in. Let me try it in reverse. And it has stalled, which is wonderful. Boop. There we go. So that's a pretty decent crawl. I'll try it again forwards. So yeah, actually, you know what? I think I'm gonna do some running shots, some quick running shots. If they're not what you want, then there's other videos out there. So I'm gonna do some quick running shots, and I'm gonna be back with my final verdict, and we'll wrap this whole thing up. So be back in a jiff. So that concludes this review of the Bachmann L&YR Class 5 tank. What do I think of it? Well, considering I've been waiting a pretty long time for one, one in a decent livery, I think the wait was worth it. Like I said, I paid £120 from Rails, even though this model was announced originally at 110. Personally, I think that is a decent value for money. You may have other opinions, but I will put an affiliate link in the description box below. And so like I said, that's the end of this review. Take care, and I will see you in the next video.